Hi, welcome to my new home. It's Plasma. I've promised in an earlier video that I'd discuss how to make a script and how we created a particular script that's in the bin folder, stay rolling. In here I've made something new. So from now on I will be using this thing as a template. What is in there? So if you're totally new to ArcoLinux, maybe a quick word. So inside home, pressing Ctrl H gives you hidden folders. So it doesn't matter on what desktop you are, it's all Linux. And we have everywhere the bin folder, and the bin folder is the binary, so applications. And in here we have some fun stuff, so the fun applications, but also the stay rolling. So from time to time we update our folders here in our scripts, and the idea is that you do not do a clean installation anymore. So one time you install ArcoLinux and then keep rolling. That's what they mean by and keep rolling distribution. It's not like in 6 months time will be a big release or anything like that. So it's continuously updating, and that's done with these little scripts. So if we take a look at the content then, open it up with anything you like. I am Plasma. I can open it with Kate, for instance, K-Writes, Ocular No, Atom, Sublime Text, or other applications. So open it up with an editor you like. There's so many other choices. Let's make this a little bit bigger and hope that you can see it. So making a script, let's start with the basics. Right mouse click, open with. I'm gonna create a text file, right? That's what you need to do, text file. So test. Use the name sh behind it. Why? Because of this difference. Right? It's obvious to us that this black thing is gonna be something for the terminal, and this isn't. It's gonna work also, but I don't want to have this visual icon there. So test sh is gonna work. Now it's not executable right now. So when you open a terminal and you take a look at this one and you take a look at that one and you ask, give me the list. One is green, the other is not. If you go a little bit further, you say this one has the X from execute, and everybody can do that. So the users can do that. Let's try to be correct. The users can do that. The group can do that. And the others can do that. So that's how it's divided. I leave that up to you to Google that. So the permissions of files and folders. Now this it does not have this X thing. Now making it actually an executable can be done in most of the file managers, but it's always looking where is it possible to make it executable in XFCE, in Thunar, or in Cinnamon, in Nemo, etc. But we need to make it executable. That's one easy thing if you have forgotten the command, because it's green now, right? If you've forgotten where it is, if you don't find it, let's do that again. Everything is back the way it was. And now we can also say chmod. So change the modus and do a +X and go for test. If you do it again, you'll see that that's the same thing. The same things happened here. All right, so we have now an executable file. It's executable. We can execute it. The thing we always start with is this shebang, as they call it, this line. Ctrl C. And that's it. And that's all you need to know. The rest is just you typing some commands. And what commands should you type? Well, whatever you want. Because the things you are typing in your terminal, well, you can gather them in a large file, Pseudopacman. You want to remove something, a bunch of files. I've just read on Discord the ArcoLinux ISO is great for me. I just need to remove Vivaldi. I just need to remove 2 packages it was, and it's that. So this can be your script you run after any clean installation. You say, you know what? Whatever I'm going to type in my system here to remove, for instance, this Vivaldi, you have to think about the name. So in this way, just wanted to make sure that it's not called Vivaldi stable, because there's a name, a snapshot, and a Vivaldi stable. But it's, in this case, we just need to type here Vivaldi, and it's gone next time around. And if you want to say yes, yes, yes all the time, that's great for you. Or you say no confirm, just yes. Remove without asking me to remove yes or no. Then it's a no confirm. And then you keep on typing, and if you want to install, okay, my fingers were totally wrong on my keyboard. Pacman -S something, right? I don't know, about screen fetch. You want to confirm? Yes, 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 no, no, no. No, I don't want to confirm. It's gonna be yes for me. And if it's already there, well, then don't install it. That's called needed. And that's your little script. So that's how you build up your own scripts, maybe after clean installation, and you get cracking and to remove things you see. So I don't want to have this, don't want to have that. A lot of things are installed. You just uninstall the things you don't like with this one. So that's an interesting concept, right? Build your own script. It's as simple as that. I can actually run this thing. I'd rather not have my Vivaldi uninstalled. So I'll do neofetch in the process. So Control C, making sure I'm in the right folder, of course. So this open terminal is in here. This is my list, and I'm gonna run test. Neofetch is gone, screen fetch is installed, so screen fetch is working, and neofetch is not present. So Pseudopacman -R -S, I mean, neofetch, and that's back. All right, so our script works. That's just what I wanted to show you. And now we're off to our own scripts. So this is just an intro, and that's okay. Intros are good. What we've done, what we always do, we always start with, if you see scripts, you say, oh my God, how do we arrive at such a complex thing? Well, it starts with one line, then a second line, and so on. That's as simple as that. So we have a template, let's call it like that. It looks like it's complicated, but it's not really, not so complicated at all. The functions, you put the functions at the top. So function remove, and there's a function remove dd. Why dd? This is rs, so that's a standard, what I call the standard remove. And we'll go in every detail, and there is a dd. So that's referring to the R and the dd there. Then we have some echoes. Echoes is just showing text to us, to the user. And then says echo none. And really, the only thing that's a bit strange is this thing. That's going to change the release. So Ctrl-Alt-T. The number is already this one. So nothing will change. It will override it with the same thing. So nothing's going to happen. Let's first run this thing maybe. Stay rolling version 1. So all the echoes does this. And the LSB release is overwritten, so we get the same thing. If you want to see if it's working, we're double clicking it again. And like I always say, it's super unimportant, this thing. I can change to anything. It doesn't mean your system is up to date. Beautiful number. Great show. Okay, let's make it to something normal again. Save. Now the details. How do you... So let's tackle the simple things first. This is just a hashtag away from being used. Pseudopacman -s, no confirm needed. You've seen that. And then you put something behind it. An application you want to have. You want to install S. Install. Maybe we should start there. Ctrl-Alt-G. ArchWiki Pacman. This is your Bible, guys. Go and read Pacman. This is important. We are trying to give you also the same information. Let's see. That's a to-do. I have a to-do for Plasma users, I see. But on ArchLinux.info we have, oops, keep typing this, ArcoLinux. Maybe I should just buy it, ArchLinux.info. Anyway, just joking. ArcoLinux Fast Track is the thing that's super interesting for all users. All users. ArcoLinux, ArchLinux, all users. And in here there's a reference to Pacman. Pacman is our package manager. And there's the information how to install stuff with -s, how to remove packages, R or RS, and removing the dependencies. So it's all that information that you need to acquire the information how to use Pacman, because it's important. Okay, so basically Pseudopacman -s installs it, and -R, well, we made something for that. So removals, rather than making a -R, which will give us a problem. Let's show you what problem we had prior to this invention that I made, this function. If I say Pseudopacman -remove, and then maybe screen fetch is out again, everything will be fine. This is great. But when I do it again, people say, Eric, there's an error in your system. There's an error. Target not found. Screen fetch. Well, that's normal. Pacman says, you want me to remove something that's already removed. Okay? So, of course, it throws an error at you, but it's not an error at all. So to avoid people telling to me, Eric, you made an error, I'm going to make a function. And I'm going to hide that error by using the function. If I'm going to remove stuff, I'm going to use a function. I'm going to say function remove. I'm going to remove. Let's keep working with these two with screen fetch. Now what's going to happen is that this function, this text here, is actually moving, well, jumping from 6.9, 69 I mean, jumping above and looking for, is there a function somewhere? Oh yeah, there's a function here in line 17. He's going in here, and without going into technical details, is going to run this. Remove the thing I've given. One is the thing I've given, without confirming. That sounds good. So let's give it a try. Like so. And what happens, we get something green. Screen fetch was not present or already removed. It went into this one, was not present or already removed. It saw that Pacman was not installed, is installed and will be removed now. It's not installed and it is not installed. It's going into this one and this loop. So if this, otherwise that. If then, all right, that's the reason behind the function remove, but we'll go more detail. But that's a general, that was the idea. So you see already why we created it. If you remove and try to remove and keep removing, you won't see an error anymore. We'll see something green. Screen fetch was not present. Okay, Pseudopacman minus install screen fetch we took. I'm gonna reinstall it and rerun the script. What you see now is screen fetch is installed and will be removed, meaning is inside this one. So this code, now it's time maybe to go into this code. What is this? Pacman minus QI. Pacman minus QI, and then this screen fetch. It will show us, is it already removed? Yep, it's already removed. It will show us information about screen fetch. So if I find something, if I do find information about this particular package, it means it's installed. And if it's installed, then I do something. If it's installed and I run it, I get the red line. So this is just a check. If this package is installed, then all the information you provide me, just throw it in the wastebasket, the dustbin. It's going inside some black hole. It's gone. I don't need it. But if indeed I get information, if it's true, if it's yes, right, you get this one. It will be removed. And you get this red thing. This is red, and this is red, and this is green. And that's what's going on in particular with this script. So the goal was avoid error messages. So people will not say to me, hey, there's an error. And it's a little bit cleaner as well. It's nicer. So green just means great. Green fetch was not present or was already removed. Fine. How do you start writing these things? Google is my friend, so it should be yours. So the commands of Pacman, I'll let you read it. It's here, it's documented, it's there, it's documented. But how do you start working? I need to know something about Linux, bash, function. You need to have the words. If you don't know the words, it's going to be difficult to figure out everything. And you start clicking. Yeah, there we have it again. Okay, voilà. Okay, bash function, function name commands. So it's a structure. That's the way to do it. Function name, some commands. The second way of doing it. So I've chosen this guy. This guy is the first command, more used format. So it's also possible to do it like this. I've seen it in both ways. I've just chosen this one. And then some pointers. What I wanted to have is the variables. I want to send a variable to this one. So the one that I'm putting behind here. Again. The one I'm putting behind here is the first one variable behind it. And screen fetch is passed through with this code, this $1 is actually saying Pacman minus QI screen fetch or neofetch or anything I put behind the function. So I have a long list. I can use a long list, and I have used the list any other month, but let's not complicate things. Let's stay here. So I know how to make a function, what kind of structure it needs, but I don't want to pass variables. So return value parameters. Okay, why not parameters? Passing parameters to a bash function. Fine. So you start Googling. That's okay. Okay. Parameter is 1. This gives us some clue. I'm gonna look for something more educational. Okay, name command org. So tomato gives us something here. So this one, fresh tomato, fresh is the function, tomato is what you pass along, and the first one, that's the one we're talking about. But it's again not maybe a suitable solution. This may be better. So back up Eric, for instance, I type Eric and then everything goes along, but still not happy with that. But that's how you do it. You just keep reading till you find an example that you say, I get it, I get it. And that's how we do it. So this is a very simple example, maybe more suitable. So in this case, we have actually two variables. So we say, if we compare, we have here the function add is the function remove, and then variable 1 and variable 2, so screen fetch, and in my case maybe new fetch. So I send two variables over. That's the only difference, that is using two, but let's keep one in ours, and it's going to be sent over here, and the result, so another variable, is going to, well, add an addition 1 and 2 is 3 in result, and echo result the content of the variable result, meaning result is 3. So this is actually a simple example that whatever you push here, the first thing that's here is the $1 and $2. Now that's a suitable example to figure it out. And maybe this is something you'd like to know as well, the dollar signs and all that. I'm not sure how it was called again, the differences. It hasn't actually, of course, everything has a name, but I'm not sure what to Google. Complex functions, maybe. Function taking parameters, maybe this is something that's can be looked at, but let's not deviate. So the function, how the function is built up is clear. The if and else and if, we've not explained that. So we go to bash. Often I just start with Linux bash and then if, else, and then stop already. It's enough. And here we see some information. So if some condition, then you do that one, else you do maybe this one. So if Pacman finds information about screen fetch, it means that it's there, then that's the condition. Well, we don't have any then. Well, sorry, we do have a then here, not on the second line, but on the first. I like it better like this, so you know that it works as well like this. If you have this, I don't know how we call it, semicolon, I think so. Then everything in red, and you say it's installed and gonna uninstall. That's this block here. Else you make everything in green, and that's then this block. You say it's already removed, and then you stop everything, and that's your function. It closes and it opens. And that's how you work your thing out. I don't know these things out of my head. I just Google a little bit and say, okay, yeah, that's how it was, because in Perl it's different, in Python it's different, it's always gonna be different a little bit in every language. So it's depends on what language you're used to work. Lua, Xmonad, I mean, there's so Haskell, it's so always different. So we go and watch again, how was it? So we have explained the function remove, and the DD is just the same thing. It's just a difference in 2 letters, and that's it. In the Arch wiki of Pacman, you can see what that is. It's going to remove a little bit more. And the function has been explained, if else if has been explained, which just leaves us the one that's the most difficult one in my eyes. The set is incredible how much you can do with a set, but it is a little bit Chinese. So let's try to figure it out together. Again, because it has been a while since I've looked at it. So Linux man set. There are lots of examples online, so that's great. Set an introduction and tutorial. So it's rather complex, but it's fun to learn, of course. But often you don't have the time to learn, you just want to have a solution super fast, and that's it. Some examples here. So S, let's see if we can find something that's gonna help us. We want to replace. What's gonna happen is it's gonna look for distribution release. Let's take a look at our file. etc. We want to work on a particular file. This is the file we want to work on. That's what we need. What we want to do is look for this thing, distribution release. That can go down. So this thing means the first thing, there's nothing comes in front of it. So the first line you come across that has the word distribution release till here equals, and then I have to look up what this again was, till here. Go change it, and this is also something special, and then go change the version 20.1.4. So I really need to investigate this again. Just bear with me, I'll explain it maybe in another video. But basically, guys, it's going to change this line behind here. You've seen the effects. If we change this to, well, if we change this to start here with a B, for instance, and then some letters and whatever, I say it is a whatever application. I mean, not application, but the number is super unimportant. I'll have to show you that right now. Control T, and we get this thing, right? So it's really gonna change starting from the V. It's going to change everything. All the rest is the same, and Control Z is going to fix that again. So there you go. I'll figure it out later on, otherwise the video is going to be too long, and it's already around 30 minutes, and I really have to dig into it again. So I think we have explained everything. And I hope it was educational. I'm gonna do a Control Z here again, all the way, and then save it again. So this is my template for the future, and this is how it was built. All right, enjoy the video.